Hey there, everybody. Matt Carter here.
And Jessica Carter from CARTERMATT.com.
Hold on, I gotta find some crow somewhere to eat here. I see. Here's the thing. If I make a bad prediction, I will come on here and own it, as I am doing in this NCIS Season 17, Episode 10 reaction.
Who's spying on Gibbs?
Okay.
Sahar.
Well,
Sarah. Who called that? I called at least the spy part.
Okay, well, here's the
But
thing.
you guys called the Sahar thing. So all of you guys out there that left it in the comments and left it on Twitter, you guys were right. I just called it that she's a spy because Rule 39, there are no coincidences. She did not show up on that street for no reason. She's a spy. Here we are. Ha 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 ha.
Can't people just have nice things? Can't get okay? You and your dancing, but
I'm never right. I am never right. If you guys are on our channel and you've seen any of our other videos, I am always wrong. This is the time that I'm right. So
can't Gibbs just have something he loves? Like, really?
he can still have something he loves. Phineas is living in his house. That's a really interesting cliffhanger.
Yeah, but now Phineas is gonna be sad because his mom is dead, and
But he has Jethro Gibbs.
But Jethro Gibbs killed his mother. I don't think that is something that Phineas bounces back from.
Right, but he may not give all of that information to someone who's like 10 or 11. He may only give part of that information.
Okay, here's the thing. We're going to collect ourselves. And if you like this video, be sure to give us a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you want to see me clown myself more with bad NCIS predictions in the future and also her dance. I cannot do any dancing right now. I will spare that for future videos if like one of my 1,000 blacklist theories ends up being correct. But okay. There's so many different things to talk about here, obviously, but the jumping off point is, of course, the fact that as so delicately predicted by Jess, Sahar was a bad person and Sarah was a spy this whole time.
She was. And we recently spoke to Steve and Frank about this. You guys! So when we asked about this, Frank said, sometimes a green jacket's just a green jacket. And sometimes a green jacket is Sahar. So that's where we are, and that's what I felt, and here we are.
It's always a good job if a showrunner can be able to just be really, really cryptic and troll you within the span of an interview and make you feel like you're going crazy and you're just speaking crazy talk by suggesting that somehow there's something more to Sarah and all these theories that are going on the internet.
Yeah, I mean, I get why they had to say that. They're not going to be like, all right, you guys figured it out. Don't even watch the episode. We'll just tell you guys. Of course, they're not going to say any of that. But the green jacket thing, it was clever, but I didn't buy into it because no coincidences.
Here's the thing, though. I was able to at least think that this was a possibility that Sahar was bad. I mean, I may have been wrong, but I could see it within reason. I'll tell you what I did not ever see or imagine, and that is Gibbs killing Sarah, aka Sahar, in this way. And in doing so, Phineas is now, I mean, I don't want to say he's an orphan because it's been suggested. Yeah, he has a dad.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing. We've been told that the dad is a bad dad for a lot of this.
Yeah, we've been told that by Sahar, who is not a good person. So, do we believe this anymore? No. What's your barometer for bad, Sahar?
Maybe Phineas's dad really just wants to take Phineas to Chuck E. Cheese or something, and he's actually like a really, really good dad.
My theory is that he's probably a good dad, and Sahar needed to use her son to get close to Gibbs, so she took him.
Yeah, and this is probably some sort of elaborate plot that has been going on. I mean, really, the question is, how much of everything that Sahar said was real, and how much of it wasn't real, and I mean, she certainly seems as though she's good enough at maintaining her alter ego in day-to-day life. That doesn't exactly seem like Phineas was in on any of it.
No, but she was using the computer that they set up for chats to be able to listen in, and that was a theory that was floating around, whether it was Phineas or it was Sarah that was going to bug that. But it makes sense, and I get why Gibbs didn't catch that. I mean, first, he's not tech savvy, so it's not going to be a thing that he's going to catch. But also, this is the sad part of this episode, is he has built this really nice, wholesome, genuine relationship with Phineas. So, how much did Phineas know? I think 0. But it's still gonna all be really sad in January when I suspect Phineas's dad is gonna come pick him up.
Here's the thing now. I'm gonna feel sad now watching the IRL episode where Phineas is like honorary NCIS agent playing video games to help save the day, because it's like now we're all just leading up to Sahar getting killed by Gibbs, but there is emotional significance here. I mean, Ziva was saved by Gibbs in this moment, which, also, Sahar, I know you're bad. I know you're evil. You don't need to sit there for 30 seconds and just, like, do your villain monologue, blah, ha, ha, all over her. Like, you signed your own death warrant.
No, I love that. I always love a villain that's gonna, like, hoard over someone and be like, ha, 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 I got you, I got you. I thought it was also very clever that this was called North Pole, and we ended up seeing Ziva kicking the actual North Pole to try to save her life. That was very clever. I like it.
Yeah, that has got to be one of the funniest inclusions of, like, a Christmas illusion possible.
I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, this was an episode just full of merriment. We had death, we had fight scenes, we had also Adam dying, so let's not forget about that death as well.
Yep.
There's a lot of darkness going on. Here's the crazy thing. We've talked for almost 7 minutes, and we haven't even brought up the fact that Tony actually has known this entire time that Ziva is alive.
Okay. That was my theory, that he knew when Ducky asked Ziva, hey, does Tony know that you're still alive? And she said, it's complicated. So my theory has been that he has known, well, my theory was that he's known all this time.
Yeah.
So clearly it hasn't been all this time, and he found her a little bit later. But my theory is he knew she was alive, and she probably said, I'm going into hiding, I'm not coming with you. And he was like, I don't agree. So that makes it complicated. That's where I think it is.
That makes sense. I mean, theories aside for a minute, I don't really actually love what they did in this particular moment, and here's why.
Let's hear it.
I just feel like I would have wanted to see that moment on TV. Like, I would have wanted to see, Ziva and Tony realizing that Ziva is alive. I want to see that scene, and maybe they'll give it to us in the next episode, and if they do, and we get Michael back for that, I will reverse course on this very statement, but I wanted to see that moment, and yeah, if they reunite, it's still going to be powerful, but it won't have the same oomph to it, to me.
The thing is I don't know that we're not going to still get that moment, that we're not going to still have a flashback to that. I think just for this particular episode, it didn't need to be there. And for me, it's because I don't need to see new footage of them together before I see a reunion. Reunion first, you can give me a flashback to that afterwards. And maybe during the reunion or part of that episode, we will have flashbacks to those moments.
Yeah, I just wish that I had actually seen the moment before I heard about the moment. But that's just me. I mean, it is nice to know that Tony, he's out there, he's aware of it. Tony obviously is proving himself to be a very good liar because he has never let on. I'm presuming he's still like calling and chatting with McGee and company, while he's, somewhere else.
Yeah, I agree. And that's why I think, and I have thought this whole time, that absolutely Tony found her. There is no way, I just don't believe that he wasn't going to find her, or that there wasn't some sort of connection where they had that talk. I need to stay in hiding, or I'm going into hiding. I know you don't like it, but I'm going to do it. And he was like, yeah, you're right, I don't like it, but I'm going to respect what you're asking, because I just kind of feel that's the way the conversation would go. So yeah, it's complicated.
Yeah, I will say this. I do like the fact that Tony sought her out and really did everything he could in order to find her, because that feels like that is in line with that character. Yes. If he loves her and he doesn't know for sure she's actually dead, he's going to look for her. I mean, I don't know what kind of resources Tony was working with, like outside of the NCIS team, where they don't seem to have any idea that he was doing it, but whenever there's a will, there is a way.
Well, that's it. Is he knows her. He knows her better than anyone. So I feel that she said she left breadcrumbs for Gibbs. He picked up on it, and he was able to find her with them.
Yeah, and good on Tony for doing that. I mean, maybe we'll see him in the next episode. I mean, we'll talk about that more in the preview, but I just feel like for this episode, it was at least cool to have a lot of just moments for Ziva with some different people. We got to see the Palmer-Ziva reunion, which was about 3 seconds long.
At the very least, it wasn't what I wanted, and I was hoping for just a little bit more from that. But I got a hug, so I'll take what I get.
Yeah, they at least had something, and even if they don't show it, because I'm assuming that, whenever Palmer and Ziva hang out, I'm sure it's not going to be them, ducking gunfire or anything. Yeah. I'll just imagine that they, go and, get a drink or something, or just hang out, and I'll be okay with that.
And we saw Ziva with Casey, which just felt almost like they had just kind of already knew each other, and was just like, oh, here's the information. Thanks for the information. Check you later. Bye. And that was kind of how it went, which is what I kind of thought it would go when we saw Casey before, and she was kind of like, oh, Ziva's sitting at a desk. Oh, my God. Oh, she's using a fork. Oh, my God. That she just thinks Ziva's a regular person.
Yeah.
And I like that there's somebody who just sees Ziva as a regular person and not like this rock star, even though she is a rock star.
Yeah, she's just not wrapped up in the mystique in the same way as everyone else. But that's fine. Casey, she's got her own stuff going on. She doesn't know Ziva in the way in which everyone else knows Ziva, and that's A-okay. I'm sure there'll be more moments with Ziva and a lot of other people moving forward.
Sloane has still not met her yet.
Yeah, and there's still that part of things. I know that, we should talk about the Christmas aspect of things for a moment, because I understand amidst, the just waterfalls of craziness that were in this episode, you don't get a lot of time to focus on Christmas, but we've spent a lot of time talking about the Gibbs Sloane Christmas thing in these videos. Were you surprised or bummed out that wasn't really here at all?
I think after seeing the promos and all that sort of stuff, and then after talking to Steve and Frank, and they were kind of like, yeah, there'll be little elements of Christmas, but not really anything. My hopes were kind of dashed for that. I thought it was going to be a nice full circle moment, but yeah, I went into this episode thinking that I wasn't going to see it. Do I think that I'll still see it in the future and they're still setting up for it? Absolutely, but this is NCIS, so if you're shipping somebody on NCIS, be ready for a really slow ride into Slib Street. It is not going to happen immediately. This is that type of show. I'm okay with that. You can build me up to it.
I think maybe in the season 18 Christmas episode we'll get something, I'm fingers crossed obviously that happens, everybody's there and all that sort of stuff, but
so the other thing I want to touch on is that they talked about her anxiety again in this, which I've admitted on this channel I'm somebody who struggles with anxiety. I was really happy, not happy for Ziva, but happy that they addressed this on the show, because not a lot of shows do talk about anxiety and what it's like to go through something like that. And they talked about it tonight, just about that idea of being in crowds and what that's like. That is exactly what it's like for me. Same sort of feeling of just, you don't know when the panic is going to hit. And seeing that it was triggered by when she gave up Tolly, it does take a pretty big moment sometimes to put people into that frame of mind. I'll say that. So it was very cool for them to not just bury that and pretend like, oh, she's gotten over it and it's all over and on her merry way kind of thing. She is still dealing with it. We saw what the cause of it was, and I'm really thankful for the show for doing this.
I don't think that's going to be something that, unfortunately for Ziva, is going to go away anytime soon. That's just something you have to just sort of find your best way to manage, and I'm sure she'll be able to do that. Once things start to settle in a little bit, maybe it'll start to get easier for her, though, there's not some instant cure-all for that sort of thing. But I like that they did kind of give us an origin for it. they sort of gave us more insight as to why it happened, and I think it's pretty darn understandable why she would feel this way now. I mean, that's a devastating moment.
I also liked that at the end of the episode, we had that moment with Gibbs and Ziva, a bit talking about the fact that she took her responsibility for her part in putting Gibbs through having to mourn her. And when we last saw them, she was very upset about him not coming to look for her. And he admitted that it was just so difficult for him to mourn her and go through losing her that he couldn't deal with the idea that he was going to maybe not find her and find out that she actually was dead and have to mourn her all over again. I sympathized with what he was saying. I understood where she was coming from, but it was really nice to see that she had some time to think about it and took responsibility for her part in that, to say, I am sorry that I put you through that I made you mourn me, and that because that's a very difficult thing. Anyone out there who's lost somebody you love, sometimes people don't ever get past it.
And I just think with Gibbs, it's something that I think he'll carry it with him for a while, but I think they both at this point have sort of resolved everything as best they can.
Yes, and I like that.
Yeah, we've seen it from both sides. The only other thing I think that's worth mentioning right now is it seems like Bishop is going to what I'm going to start calling Odette's spy school, where you get to learn how to do really cool things, apparently, and she passed the test. Can we get, like, a Rocky training montage with, like, I don't know what Bishop's going to be doing. Is she just, like, ducking behind corners or, like, creating false identities?
Well, do you think she's going to take it? She didn't actually say yes. She kind of just raised her glass. That could be a yes. Oh. I would love to see her taking on something like this. She's had more time with the team now. She's very smart. She's good at keeping secrets. She's good at standing up to people, clearly, with what was going on with Odette. I would really like to see her take on some of that. We've also seen that connection that she has with Ziva, who is already like that. She is a ninja, and she is so crafty at stuff like that it would be... I don't want to see Bishop just be another Ziva and get taught to be like another Ziva. I would like to see her get some of these cool traits to be able to, whether it's combat or whatever Odette is going to teach her, and make it Bishop's.
I don't think she's going to become Ziva. I think really maybe we'll see her run a little bit more in some chase sequences, and then maybe like a tiny bit more hand-to-hand combat, and then that will be it. I think they'll just have it be this way so that if that moment happens, it won't be, oh, when did Bishop suddenly get so good at fighting or whatever?
It's true, yeah. I mean, I would like to see her a little more involved in sort of that fighting and stuff like that, but I don't want to see her turn into a Ziva ninja where she's climbing a wall and cutting wires of cameras and all this other stuff. She doesn't need to be that, and I don't want her to be that.
Yeah, and I don't think they're going to make her that. I think it'll be somewhere a little bit more in the middle, but we have more to talk about in the preview, so we highly suggest you stick around with that. But we want to know from you guys, what did you think about NCIS Season 17, Episode 10? Let us know all of your thoughts in the comments, and if you like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and you can support us further by checking the link in the description to the CARTERMATT store, and we'll see you here next time.